All right. Let's talk about RLCS Season 9. I have Season 8 and Season 9 rule books open here to go over some stuff. We'll clean this up a little bit. We'll go full screen here. So RLCS Season 9 is right around the corner. We announced at LAN that, signups are now and qualifiers are happening. So we'll talk about what the differences are in this season compared to last season and so on and so forth. Ashkin is very excited about it. Very excited. So first, let's talk about the dates and what this means for the format change and all that going into RLCS. So first off, we have our dates. We have the open qualifiers are January 18th through the 25th, which also means 19th through the 26th for European dates. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see a little bit better. If it lets me scroll to the left, it does not. Okay, well, that's fine. So, a couple notes here. Excuse me. Normally, qualifiers are over a 3-week period or 3 weekends with one midweek one. Now, that's not the case. It is now like over 9 days total, and that's it. So, it's only 2 weekends. There'll be 2 weekday ones because they want to get them done as soon as possible. The one thing I never really understood with the open qualifiers, and I say this, I think, every season, is I don't understand the reason to have 128 teams make the final day. It should be more like 32, but that's besides the point. Because then these open qualifiers would actually matter. They don't really matter for the good teams at this point. But if you are participating, my suggestion is either go for the 2 weekday ones if you have time to do those, because there'll probably be a lot less teams, or do a weekday one and make sure you do open qualifier 4. The reason being for that is because by the time that you play, if you're an open qualifier 4, you will have already 96 teams not competing because they're already into the play-ins. So if your goal is to just make the play-ins, then that's what you want. You want to try and, cheese the system a little bit, go to open qualifier 4 or through one of these weekday ones, preferably qualifier 3. But for the good teams, they can sign up for any of these and they don't have to worry about it. You can sign up for 2 of them. So when you have your team, do that. The next thing, the play-ins now are on the same exact day as the first week of league play. So last season, we had play-ins that were not in studio, and I think Rivals did a little bit of community stuff with it. Not too much though, but no one watched it. So it seems like Psyonix is just banking on no one's going to watch these if we don't put on a show for it. So let's just make it the same weekend as league play. They're also trying to condense everything so we can start as soon as possible, to my assumption to have space for the Olympics. Because the Olympic event, you have to form new teams and all this stuff. So they probably want to make that as spacious as possible. My wife just sent me a photo of Gibbster chilling. So I'm going to show you guys. Look at him. Look at the Gibbster. He's chilling. All right. Moving on. So that's interesting in and of itself, because Rival Series, they start the following week, which is normal for league play to start, and then the following week Rivals starts. So play-ins, again, will be on the weekend because they obviously want all the teams to show up, and weekends are generally free time. But the most interesting thing, because obviously we have 10 teams now for the expansion, is league play is now 8 weeks long. Now, we don't know for sure if these are all in studio. I assume they're all in studio. I haven't heard anything about details, but it is much longer. So we've always only had 8 shows in the studio every season prior to this season, which would be either play-ins and then 5 weeks of league play, regional championship, and then the promotion tournament. And last season we didn't do play-ins, but we added a rival playoff. So it's always been 8. So this season, it looks like it's going to be more. So you have 8 weeks of league play, and I know everyone was wanting 9 weeks. I would have preferred 9 weeks as well. But we're getting 8 weeks, which means if you do the math out, there is, what is there? There's 45 games in a season. So if you have 8 weeks, 8 times 6 would be 48. So that means 3 weeks would have to be only 5 games. Every other week will have 6 games, which means that every team will play once in a 2-week period, or 2 games in a 1-week period. So the one nice thing about this is you're probably going to have all 10 teams play like at the beginning of the day, the final game will be versus two teams that have already played. So there won't be any like warm-ups or anything like that because both teams will have played. So every team will do that once, and then every other week you just play once. So you have 9 games total, 2 games 1 week. Then you play all of the other weeks with just 1 game. The 7 weeks, and then you would have your 9 weeks. So that is what's going on there. It starts February 1st, 2020. Man, it's weird to see a 2020 date. So 2020, and it goes through basically no weeks off at all, the entire league play. Also, regional championship, there is no weeks off. So keep that in mind as well. There is, so like this season, we had a week off between. It was mostly because of CRL. They had their finals. This time, no week off. Then 1 week off, and then the promotion tournament. Another note here, there is no rival playoff. The rival playoff is gone. That was a 1 season only thing that looks like for now. We go back to the promotion tournament. Let's talk about the promotion tournament. Where we go? Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So teams ranked 8th and 9th in the RLCS will compete in the promotion tournament versus number 2 and number 3 from rival series league play. What that means is that the 10th team from RLCS will get demoted automatically. They will be out of the RLCS. The first place team from rival series will be automatically into the RLCS. And I know like some people will say, well, you know, how is that fair? That 10th team could be better than the first place team. But at the end of the day, that 10th team is worse than the 9 other teams it's competing with. It can take a season to go to the rival series. Like, I don't mind that at all, personally. And also, rival series teams generally do better in the promotion tournament anyway. They have a much better win rate than RLCS teams. If you don't count this season, because this season was a little bit weirder because of it was like 3rd and 4th. They have a really good win rate. So that's how we get our promotion tournament, and that's how we get our RLCS 10 teams again. So at most, we can change 30% or 3 teams from RLCS season to season, unless teams disband, obviously. And rival series, same thing. I think rival series as well. I'm not sure. I think it's like top 6 probably stay. Let's see. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It's probably top 6 is what I'm going to assume. I'm probably missing that somewhere in here. But they probably stay to the next rival series date. But don't, you know, who knows? Regional championships are the same exact format. That's what this is saying right here. So you don't have to worry about that. It's that page playoff into, you know, the regional championship. So very likely you still have 4 teams from NA, 4 teams from Europe. And we won't, don't know about OC or South America yet, but, you know, very likely 2 teams from each. The other note, there's no news, obviously, on Asia in this thing. So I would assume there's no Asia going into Season 9. But that's just something to know because that would be probably the next region at some point, right? So it looks like no Asia. Like I would say maybe another year, maybe, hopefully, we get Asia in there. Would be pretty cool, but I have no idea. World Championship dates will be announced later. This season we actually announced before league play began, I believe. And the tickets went on sale the first week. So just keep a lookout. I would assume they'll probably announce like first week of league play again. But I don't know for sure. But that seems to be what they're trying to aim for. Who knows? Maybe they'll announce tomorrow. You never know. The other thing that I wanted to note, prize money is basically the same. Let's go down there. The only thing that is different about prize money is you get the same exact amount, the 29304 from last season per match played, but you have 2 extra matches. So RLCS teams will get an extra $6,000 for just competing in league play, or close to $6,000. Obviously, I'm rounding here. So that's really nice for those teams in league play. So that's basically it. The regional championship, same exact prize money. You don't have to worry about that. Also, accolades, same exact prize money. Once again, we haven't heard about OC or South America prizing yet. But one thing I've always kind of wondered, like, I don't understand why like league play MVP is the same for North America, Europe, OC, and South America. Since OC and South America have such smaller prize pools, it seems weird to to give a big percentage of money to one player in that region just seems kind of weird to me. It's also why we had that like South America thing where someone tried to game the like savior of the season. I'm not sure whatever came of that, but it's just a lot of prize money for those regions if they have a smaller prize pool. Well, obviously, like I would always want, more money to all regions, but I don't know how, all that works. Rival Series prizing is exactly the same, I believe, as well. So looks like we're staying about the same, about $1 million plus for the whole season. Just adding a little bit of money here or there. Who knows? Maybe World Championship will have a lot more prize money, but we haven't heard anything there. The other thing I wanted to show, which trying to find where it is. Yeah, let's see. I can't remember where it is on this. So, here we go. Roster lock date. This is the big one. January 18th for RLCS teams and Rival Series teams. So that is when Qualifier 1 begins. That is roster lock date. That is in 1 month. So, a very, very small offseason. So, if roster moves are going to happen, they're going to have to happen quick. And it's also hard because it's the holidays. So, a lot of people take time off to go see family and stuff like that. So, like, I feel like this season, it seems like it would be prone for a ton of roster moves. But because of such the short time frame with the holidays, who knows, like, if those teams will have time to make roster moves. And maybe they'll be like, let's try this for one more season. You never know. So we'll see. But obviously, some of those teams that did worse didn't obviously go to the World Championship. So they're going to be playing around with the rosters a bit more earlier on. So we'll see some. I just don't know how many we'll see. But we will know all of them by January 18th, at least if the teams announce them. So that is the big date, January 18th. That is less than a month away at this point in time. So definitely keep a lookout for rosters. Another thing, it doesn't look like, now who knows, there might be an event in January, but at this point, it doesn't look like that there's going to be anything before league play of RLCS. There is one DreamHack that is one of the qualifier weekends. Normally, we don't do an event during a qualifier weekend. So, who knows? Maybe there'll be a DreamHack. Maybe there'll be something else, but as of now, nothing's announced. And if nothing's announced by now, I think it could be a little bit kind of sketchy to see if anything would happen before league play. Personally, I kind of like it because I would love to see if Cloud9 and G2 can find that form in league play rather than, say we go to DreamHack and like G2 and Cloud9 do great and finish top 8. It like ruins that allure kind of like, are they going to do it in league play or are they going to suck again? But obviously that might not happen. But we might just go straight into another league play. And I think that's like never happened before, going from like one world championship to a league play. So we'll see. Maybe there'll be an event. Maybe one just got announced on Twitter. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know nothing. But yeah, so then everything's going to be done by like late April, maybe early May for a world championship is what it's kind of looking like. Because we're done early April for the promotion tournament right here, April 12th. So probably a late April World Championship, early May. I think it's really just to get away from the Olympics, so teams can reform and all that stuff. Because who knows how that's going to play out? Because right now there's no details, but you would assume they have to have like national qualifiers for every country. Then you have to have some type of qualifier for how do you get your top 16 to make it to Poland. Then you have the Poland event. I'm trying to see when those events are. I always forget the dates. Let's see. If someone has the dates, let me know. Oh, here we go. Let me look. Oh, is someone being bad in here? Whatever. All right, we'll mute him at least. I haven't looked at much of it. A timeout for 10 minutes at least. All right. Look through all these sites. You're just being a pain. I can't remember the exact dates of when these things are happening, but I think it's like July and June-ish for the Poland event. So there's one. So the top 16 teams, the top 16 national teams, which again we have no idea how they're gonna figure that out. We'll go to Poland to compete to find our top 7 that go and play against Japan in the Olympics, which is a month later. Is E-League happening again or not really? It doesn't look like there's an E-League this year, and who knows? I have no idea after that. So they're probably trying to space it a little bit, so teams can play with their new teammates and get ready for their national events and all that stuff. So they're probably trying to keep that a little bit of a separation, which probably also means we probably won't have many DreamHacks this year is my guess. I haven't heard anything at all. Maybe late in the year we'll get some DreamHacks, but nothing's been announced yet. So who knows? But yeah, so that's everything for RLCS Season 9 that we know of. Not too much has changed. The main things are an 8-week league play for RLCS, and they got rid of the rival playoffs. Promotion and demotion is based on the 10th team from RLCS. They get auto-demoted. 8 and 9 play against 2 and 3 from the rival series. Number 1 from rival series gets auto-promoted. So some big spots there to worry about. But those are the big deals for RLCS Season 9. And yeah, we'll see where the World Championship is and all that stuff later on. About the same prize money as well. If you guys have any questions real quick, I'll answer them. Just at me. Hey, what's up, Merc? How you doing, bud? Are you doing a lot better? Awesome, dude. Big storylines for next season. I think anything you're looking forward to this early. Like, I really want to see how Cloud9 and G2 bounce back. See how they do. That should be interesting. I think on the European side, it depends on roster moves, obviously, and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, the big story, I think, for me is just do Cloud9 and G2 bounce back. And obviously roster changes. What about WSB? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of Area 4 events. There might be one for like mid-January, but I would assume it would be announced soon, if that does happen. But I don't know of anything. So no. June, Poland, July 22nd through 24th for Japan. There you go. There is no rival series playoff. No rival series playoff. At least there's no dates on here. Now, of course, all of this could change. They always have that, clause in these rules that they could change it. But it doesn't look like there's going to be a rival series playoff. Just league play. Straight league play. Do I see a roster change coming for C9 or G2? Probably not, but I'm not sure. Can a pro play on other than PC? Yeah, they can play on console. RL Twitch channel where are the Olympic Games? I have no idea. No idea. Does the Olympics include the Saudi boys? I have no idea what countries will be included, which ones will not, because it's also like at some point you have to cut it off, right? Where it's like, so it's going to be interesting, right? Because you have like Team USA, Team Canada. There's really no one to compete against in your region to see if you'd make it to Poland. So I would assume they would like auto make it. Then there's like all of South America. Maybe you throw Mexico in there and they have like a qualifier or something. Who knows? Then on Europe's side, everyone could be in a qualifier because they're all super close, including the boys from Saudi Arabia. That's if they allow them. Again, I have no idea legally how all this works. But I would assume they would be part of that European qualifier to get some more teams till we get a top 16 in the world. Then like OCE, what do? You have like New Zealand, you have Australia. Do they play against like some of Asia? Does Asia get spots in a qualifier because they're kind of close, but the ping's gonna be a little bit off? Who knows? No idea. I don't make the rules for this, so we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Do I know much about CRL? So is there anyone you're looking out for next season? I don't really follow CRL too closely. It's just a little too much Rocket League to keep track of. Let's see. Would we need to see another Beyond the Summit? Yeah, like that'd be fun. I just don't know when they would do it, but yeah, it's a very fun event. All right, I think that's gonna do it here for these qualifiers for the YouTube portion. Say hi to YouTubes, everyone, on the stream, and yeah, we'll get back to some games here. Bye, YouTube.